In the previous module, we created a simple guessing game using only selection statements. In this module, we'll optimize our code using loops. Let's start with the while loop. The while loop is a precondition loop that executes a statement as long as a condition applies. A precondition loop means that the statement comes after the condition. Let's start by creating a counter and setting it to 0. Now we'll make a condition that as long as the counter is less than 3, we'll take a guess. Notice how the input or statement comes right after the condition. Our program is working, but since the value of the counter is not changing, our program keeps prompting for an input. To fix this, we'll increment the counter by 1. Increment means to bring up a value by a certain amount. Now we can only take 3 guesses. Once the counter reaches 3, the condition of less than 3 no longer applies, so our program exits the loop. To prove that, let's print end of loop at the end of the loop. Notice how important indentation is in this case, clearly differentiating between the statement and the end of the loop. Our program works, but doesn't give the user any feedback. Let's add some selection statements to make a better program. First, we'll make a small change to how we increment, making this line more Pythonic. Plus equal adds another value with a variable's value and assigns the new value to the variable. This works as well. Let's inform the user if a guess is correct or not. After the user takes a guess, if the guess equals generate random, we'll print you win. Otherwise, we'll print incorrect and increment the counter. To ensure our program is working, let's just see what the number is before we play. Our program works, but even if we win, we still get the chance to take a guess because our counter is less than 3. So let's break out of the loop once we win. Now if we win, we're out of the loop. Our program works but has another major bug. What happens if a user does not type a number into the input? Our program throws a value error. We cannot convert ABC to an integer value. To catch this, we can use exception handling. Exception handling is a process of handling unexpected events so that our program does not crash. We refer to these unexpected events as exceptions. In Python, we can handle exceptions using a block of code called a try and except. First, we can try to take a guess as an integer. If the interpreter throws a value error, we can print that's not an integer. Except can work on a single error or many types of errors. Just writing except without specifying the exceptions would catch all exceptions.